Hey everyone, how's it going? It's me, Simzilla, and as you can tell, I'm still going to be using my intros and my outros. It's just that for the last video that you just saw, I will never use the intros or my outros just to keep it a little bit more in-universe friendly. So if you are coming to this video, then you are probably wondering, what exactly is Odo Island, or what exactly were you listening to? So, that is the first kind of pilot episode, as it were, of a series called Odo Island. Odo Island is going to be a short story which expands on the events of Odo Island prior to Godzilla 1954. So you'll be following a new character, and he will sort of have his own experience with Godzilla prior to the events that happen in the film when Dr. Yamane and the rest of the characters all make it to Odo Island the first time. And a lot of other stuff is being set up too. There is one image that I think anyone who's kind of familiar with the big Toho science fiction stuff should know got set up in that first episode. But yeah, so Odo Island is only going to be focusing on just the events of the original Godzilla, and also expanding on its ending and what the ending means for the rest of the stuff I'll be working on, and that is what I'll be going into here. So I will be using a lot of other movies and their plots to create a new continuity. I talked about that when I was advertising it the day I am recording this. So these right here are the series of films that I will probably be using plot elements or stuff from. These are almost all but confirmed with the exception of one. So the films obviously are the original Gojira, which I have been writing and working on so far, and sort of what I'll be changing has already been considered, and it's just a matter of getting the episodes out. And then once that's done, we'll be getting to these next few films, and those being Them, Godzilla Raids Again, Half Human, Rodan, The Mysterians, The H-Man, Varen, Atragon, Frankenstein Conquers the World, War of the Gargantuas, and Space Amoeba. And not necessarily in that order necessarily. There are a few films that may be taking place at different times depending on when they came out in the real world, and I might be sort of fumbling dates just so I can get the story the way I want it to. But other than that, these are essentially all the films that are all but confirmed, with the exception of one, and that probably is going to be Rodan. I might not be using Rodan in this continuity. Kind of maybe conflicting with Varen for reasons that I will not go into in this video, but it's mostly story related and how I want to work with things. So maybe Rodan might appear, maybe it might not. It all kind of depends. But other than that, there are other films I want to include, but I'm not entirely sure, because with these films, I have a basic outline of where they can go and sort of what I can do when it comes to implementing Godzilla 54 and sort of the thematic elements that film had, and making what is overall a darker show timeline, as it were. But the films I kind of want to include, but I not will be really able to, are the three films from the Bloodthirsty trilogy, which are Vampire Doll, Lake of Dracula, and Evil of Dracula, which are setting up something that I kind of want to do. And if you are wondering why I'm using those films, and you're thinking to yourself, well, they're not really kaiju films, so what's going on? And I would say, well, Half Human really isn't a kaiju film, and neither is the H-Man, so you can sort of theorize what the Bloodthirsty trilogy is going to be about. And then Prophecies of Nostradamus was another film I kind of wanted to use, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it right now. I'm gonna have to obviously do some research on Prophecies of Nostradamus, as I have not seen Prophecies of Nostradamus, and the reason I'm saying this over and over again is because I like saying Nostradamus. I think it's a cool word. But yeah, there is an outline I do have right now of what I can implement that film into, but that might include another film, and it all depends on where I want to take the universe. And then finally, these are the last kind of set of films that I'm probably not going to include at all, although I know a lot of people would like me to probably include them, and those are Mothra, Gorath, Matango, and Dora. Out of these four films, the one that might be more likely to appear than not is Dogora, because I think I can implement Dogora in pretty well, and I'm probably not going to include Mothra because if I do, and just spoiler, Godzilla's going to be appearing in a lot of these other stories, and if I'm including Mothra, I might as well just adapt Godzilla versus Mothra than adapt Mothra. And then as for Matango, maybe it's a possibility, I'm not sure. And then Gorath, its story elements kind of depends on what I want to do. And it's not really because I want to really include Magma in it, but just the concept of Gorath might appear. I'm not sure yet. It is going to come down essentially to just the story plans and stuff. But really right now, what I understand and have a outline for is stuff including Godzilla, them, which I think a lot of people are probably wondering why them is there. And that will be explained once I get to Godzilla Raids again in terms of timeline. But just note that them is not a mistake, and I may be including other American monster movies. It all just kind of depends on the research I do and what other kind of ideas I plan to toy around with. And then as for Half Human, going to be adapting a lot of that. I think it's an interesting film, and sort of its lost nature is something I want to kind of see what I can do with that. As for the Mysterians, that's going to be adapting something that was canceled. If you're kind of a big Toho stan, you might know exactly what I'm probably going to do with that. The H-Man's going to be tied directly to Godzilla, and I'm going to be adapting a lot of its basic story, but kind of just giving it more thematic weight. Varen, that's going to have a almost completely new story, and as you can see in the first episode of Odo Island, Atragon's already been set up. If you are going to figure out what we're going to do with Atragon, maybe you might enjoy that, or if you just really like the original Atragon, you may hate it. I don't know. Frankenstein Conquers the World is got some stuff in it, and it's going to tie directly into Warrior Gargantua's a little bit more coherently, and then finally Space Amoeba. But if there are more stuff in terms of like films that I might add, I will probably do updates. I'm not sure. I might not, because I don't want to spoil as much as I'm already spoiling now. So it all just kind of depends. But that's it, guys. I really hope you liked the first episode. I will try to make these episodes a little longer, as the first Odo Island audio log, it was essentially only 3 minutes. But that was like a lot of editing. You may not believe it. But yeah, so it's going to be fun. I hope you all enjoy, and I might expand out, get voice actors and stuff, and do some more effects, a few more like visual stuff to make it more than just an audio drama, but that all kind of depends on the reception I get. So if you liked what you've seen, give it a like, give it a share. But that's all, guys, and without further ado, I am Zemzilla, and I will see you guys next time.